Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows, episode 592. I feel pretty good now. Line from one of my. It's not a great movie, but it's entertaining. Frank Whaley, hot as hell. Jennifer Connelly, written by John Hughes. Dermot Mulroney, who I'm going to talk about here in a few, is in it also. And it's one of my favorite lines I love to use all the time. And there is no gift for it. So I'm pissed off about that because I would use it so many goddamn times I saw it. But it is such a great line here. But it is 11:13 p.m. on February 8th, 2025. It is Stupor Bowl. Excuse me, Super Bowl weekend. For those who watched last week, you saw I had a massive cold. I am getting better, hence the name. I feel pretty good now. That was something good. Something good happened at work this week, and something good came out in the grocery store. Some good trailers came out. Other than that, though, everything else is shit still, obviously. I want to thank you first. Last week when I started my show, I had 104 subscribers. After I did my show, when I went back upstairs to relax a little bit, I saw that I had 106. So thank you for the two people who joined last week. Last week's episode, Black History Month, which deserves to absolutely be celebrated, garnered me one of my biggest viewings per episode in a long time. I've had hundreds before, but I haven't had them in a really long time. So thank you to the 87 plus who watched my show last week and hope to replicate it today. Probably not going to, but we'll see what happens. But I will be talking Super Bowl. I'll be talking about more of the shit stuff that happened this week, some earthquakes. Oh, and I forgot another good thing that happened is one of my favorite shows is being rebooted with one of my favorite girls. I should say women, excuse me. Excuse me, I still have some Fleming stuff like that, and new food and drink and just all kinds of stuff leading up to last weekend. So next weekend, we've got Valentine's Day. My Valentine's Day is going to consist of my wife going camping with her scouts, potentially just me and my son at home because my daughter might have a leadership thing she has to go to. If she doesn't, she wants to have a Valentine's Day party with some of her friends. And it's also Captain America Brave New World, which I am going to be taking the day off on Friday to watch the movie theater. I haven't actually done that in a really long time because I really haven't needed to do that. So I hope to have my review of that come up here soon. Speaking of reviews, the first of many sodas I will be trying this week. Dr. Pepper Blackberry is now here. Again, this is not paid promotion. This is just something I did myself because I like to try these new things. So let's find out what this is going to taste like. Yeah, but more berry flavored smell than a typical Dr. Pepper. So bottoms up. Lady's choice. It's pretty decent, actually. You definitely get a blackberry flavor. Don't get a lot of Dr. Pepper flavor, but that's okay. You don't need to. It's a blackberry flavor. There's the Dr. Pepper. It's a little bit of a tinge of like a sort of acidic at the end that gives you the Dr. Pepper flavor, but it is a blackberry, definitely blackberry flavor. Pretty decent. I don't know if I drink this all the time, like I do some of the other Dr. Peppers. But no, it's decent. If you like If you like blackberry flavor, you'll definitely should like that. Sorry, I'm going to be hacking up. There's just something is stuck up here because I'm talking, so mucus is going to be up there. So yeah, it's a definite blackberry flavor. It's good. It's decent. Again, I don't know if I'd buy a 12-pack and drink it every day for 12 days. But it's definitely worth a try. Definitely probably better than that coconut and cream bullshit they have released. Pretty decent, but I know there's a problem with Coke right now, but I'm really excited to try their orange cream soda, so we'll see about that. Problem with Coke I'll talk about in a second, but right now I want to continue doing the good stuff while I got it. First up, for those who know me, you know I like Sarah Michelle Gellar. Was one of my biggest celebrity crushes for a while, and it's nothing sexual. I don't think it ever has, but it never was anything sexual. I just really, really liked her for a really long time since she was doing Buffy, and I respect her too much that, you know, I love her husband, Freddie Prinze Jr. I love the fact that they're one of the Hollywood successful stories. They've been married just as long as my wife and I have. They have a year on us, but we have a year on their kids. So my youngest son is 1 year older than her oldest daughter. And that's my new dream now. And I've told you this before. My new dream is that Sarah's daughter, Charlotte, goes to the same college as Noah, and the two of them fall in love, end up getting married, and Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. are in-laws then. That's my next big dream. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But could always wish. But big news about that is that it's been talked about for a while, but there is just starting on the books right now. Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to be teaming up with Chloe Zhao, who directed The Eternals and also won an Oscar for that one movie, I think, I forget what it's called. And they're going to be doing a continuation of Buffy for Hulu. Sarah said she would never return to the character unless there was a good story. And she wanted to just meet with Chloe Zhao to see what she had to say. And she was moved enough by Chloe's story ideas. And there were two other women there also that she is pretty much prepping to play Buffy. As I said, it's probably not going to get started really anytime soon. Probably would not be at the earliest. Might be out in 2027, I would assume. So should be interesting to see that. I like the fact that Joss Whedon's toxic. He created the character, but his toxic, just everything about him will not be involved with it. I love the woman power aspect to it. I love the fact that it could potentially be a really good thing to go for. Not reboot, but like reimaginings or whatever of older stuff of doing really well, i.e. Cobra Kai and stuff like that. So if they can make this rebooted Buffy like Cobra Kai, that'd be outstanding. What I would like to see is I don't really want to see any of the original cast members. The only one potentially, because she deserves it, is Charisma Carpenter. They should figure out a way to bring her back to life somehow and have her team up with Buffy. Angel and Spike should be right out because they're much older now and they're starting to look it, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with the way they look, and that's they're aging when they're supposed to. But vampires don't age, and unless you decide to turn them both human, which would be a really bad idea also, because it really reduces any storyline ideas. There is no need for them. Nicholas Brendan is a toxic asshole also. So no Xander would be great. I know Allison Hannigan and Sarah haven't really gotten along too well. And Allison Hannigan is already pretty much said she's retiring from acting. So that's fine. Anthony Stewart Head is still acting, but I think he's done everything he wants to do with Rupert. So he's moving on to a different Rupert in Ted Lasso. And embracing playing the villain for a while. But yeah, I think if you need to come up with a kind of a good melding of the shows, but don't make it too cliched sort of thing. I don't know if you want to have Buffy training a whole bunch of new Slayers. I just don't know how the story's going to play out, but it's not my ideas. It's Chloe Zhao's ideas, and Sarah's going to have her input as well. So we will see what happens. As I said, it's not coming anytime soon, so we'll see what we'll see. So, but it's still good news that the potential is out there that we will be seeing a new Buffy reboot within another year or so. As I said, my cold is nearly over, but I still have sort of this phlegmy sort of thing. It's at that point where it's just sort of hanging on, and it's really annoying, but I don't feel nearly as bad as I did last week. Plus, I worked a full week of work, so that helped out. Unfortunately, my son Noah, my daughter, as I said last week, my daughter got sick with me, but she was recovered after a couple of days. It took me till about now to get recovered. Unfortunately, my son Noah, he contracted a stomach virus, and we had to keep him home from school on Monday, I believe, because he was throwing up a lot, and I felt really, really bad for him because I hate throwing up, and he's 15, and he still doesn't quite know how to handle stuff, but he's getting there. He's doing good, and I felt really bad for him because throwing up sucks ass. So we kept him home on Monday, and I was definitely going to leave him home on Tuesday, but he said he was going to go and wanted to do it. So I went to school. Then we had the storms that wasn't bad. We were supposed to get an really bad ice storm on Wednesday, so much so that the weather people were screaming about how bad it would be, that they closed schools early. Actually, they didn't. Excuse me. They did a 2-hour delay on Tuesday night, which I think would have been fine. And they kept it a 2-hour delay until at the very latest, till about 7 o'clock. That's when they changed it to schools closed. Now, I left for work on Tuesday and Wednesday in the ice storm while it was still raining. The roads were not bad at all in my neighborhood and on the main roads. We did have someone come through and salt stuff. So that was good. But Baltimore County is the biggest county in Maryland, and there are different pockets of Baltimore County, some worse off than others. So they probably closed school because even though we weren't too bad, there might be another location miles away that was terrible, but within Baltimore County's range, and you don't want to try stuff there. So you just shut down everything. So that's why I've always thought that we should do some sort of by area for Baltimore County. I mean, we already have the Hereford zone, which is a small area up near the border of Pennsylvania with Pennsylvania. That gets a lot more of the more urban cold and ice and snow, and not as many trucks get out there and do stuff. So the roads are very dangerous and slick and don't get plowed all that often. So they tend to close more often than we do. And it is a section out in Baltimore County, but they should do something like that, dividing up the county in different ways and then just shutting down certain ones and not others. But I guess I can see how that could kind of screw things up, keeping track of snow days and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. So It is what it is. Plus, then we were supposed to get another storm. Supposed to get another ice storm today. We got something, but nothing, not nearly as bad as they were calling for. So again, the weathermen were wrong. The weathermen are now calling for snow next week. Potentially they could be wrong for a third time. So we'll see what happens. So much for that. So that worked out pretty good for everybody there. My son's much better now, so that's good. At work this week, I successfully ran a Super Bowl pool. And we will see how it plays out tomorrow at the Super Bowl. People at work were interested in doing it. We had a salesman who used to do it all the time. He loved gambling, and he was the one that always ran it. But after he passed away, no one really wanted to try it. Then a few people tried it, but it didn't quite work out, so they weren't really that interested in doing it. And a lot of people weren't really participating. But people still wanted to see if we could get one together. So I was interested because I'd done it every time that it was passed around. I always wanted to do the Super Bowl pool, the blocks, you know. So nobody was planning on setting it up. They all just wanted to do it. So I said, fine. I'm not doing much because my work is a little slow. The office's work itself is picking up, though, so that's good. So I got it done very successfully, collected all the money. Got enough people to cover the 100 squares. I thought I wasn't going to have enough people. So I was going to list friends and my wife and children and stuff like that, but didn't need to do any of that. Everybody involved in the Super Bowl pool at work works for the company, so that's good. And I currently have the money upstairs in a hidden location, along with the original sheet that has the squares of the people's signatures. And again, I didn't fix it. I had 4 or 5 people pulling the numbers. It just so happened that I bought 4 boxes. 3 of my 4 boxes are good. Now my biggest fear is that I'm going to win every box, and they're going to scream at me that it's fixed. So hopefully not. I would just like to win once, because in the whole time that I've been doing it at work, I've never won. So hopefully I will win that one. Was surprised at the grocery store the other day when I was trying to go get some coffee creamer for work. I look over and there's the Reeses coffee creamer, which they haven't had for at least 2 or 3 years now. There's only one left. So either they must have gotten a case in, they put it out, and everybody was taking it, and I got the last one. They hadn't refurbished it by the time I went again today to get stuff for the Super Bowl party with my wife. But they had the whole coffee creamer section was pretty much barren anyway. So so in the end, it didn't really matter, but I got it, and I have it at work, and it's good. It's not the Easter one, which was always better. The Reese's Easter egg one, which was a specialized one for Easter a few years ago. I think it was 2020, 2021, even somewhere around COVID, was outstanding. So this one's okay. It's not as good as I remember it to be, but still I have it. So still pretty cool about that. So it used to be that the Super Bowl commercials were always big deals. In the last few years, it really hasn't been because of online stuff. People are showing the Super Bowl commercials early online, so everybody sees it early and is not surprised while watching the Super Bowl. Movie trailers, same way. All these movie trailers are supposed to come out, surprising everybody. Everybody's waiting for them to come out on Super Bowl Sunday, have already been leaked or came out on their own because they wanted to do it early. Case in point, Fantastic Four. The trailer for that came out on February 4th. February 4th, F4, Fantastic Four. So that's clever. I can understand that. But they've been saying forever that Jurassic World Rebirth with Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Blake or Baines, or I don't know, whatever his name is. was going to be on the Super Bowl, and then they released it on Wednesday. But I'm happy because both are really good. Fantastic Four one is definitely going for a 1960s first appearance of the FF sort of feel, space race, future, how the future looked in the 1960s. Got a quick view of Galactus. The Thing looks really, really good, except his Bronx accent is not quite as distinct as I would like it to be. But in that case, Ross, not a big deal. We didn't see Pedro Pascal stretch, but we saw all the other Fantastic Four's powers, and we did get to see a little bit of Galactus, not much. So it was good. It was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. Looking forward to it. And then Jurassic World Rebirth, that trailer came out also with Scarlett and Jonathan. Everyone thinking that Scarlett was going to be Hammond's granddaughter. And Jonathan was going to be Hammond's grandson growing up. At least in Scarlett's case, it's not. She's a completely different character. And I couldn't quite hear. I thought I heard Hammond's name with the Jonathan, the actor, Jonathan Banks or whatever his name is. And it's possible that he could be the grandson. But we all know they never really said it. When they said it, I couldn't really hear it because there's a lot of other noise in the background of the trailer. But it looks decent. The storyline, we now get an idea of what the storyline is going to be. Basically, they have to go to the prequel island, meaning that there was an island when they were prepping to start work on this Jurassic Park and testing stuff till they got it right. And then they moved it to the main island and made the dinosaurs that we saw in Jurassic Park. This island, though, they were all the test subjects and were the worst of the dinosaurs, and they were still remained on the island after all these years. So they have to go back and get some samples that could cure cancer or something like that. So a lot more dinosaur action. So it's going to be another sort of like Jurassic Park sort of thing where they're going to be on the island and they're going to be taking on dinosaurs, which is, it's cool because dinosaurs look badass, but it's sort of the same old story. I mean, it's not really breaking any new ground, so we'll see what happens. It still looks good, and I still like it, and it should be interesting, and it's got some good humor in it, and it's got some good action. It looks like we got a good movie coming out. So we could actually have a really good July, actually, with Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four, and other stuff as well. So it should be a good summer anyway. So there we go. I am so sorry. This is so annoying right now. All right. What else we got? Shit news. We'll do the awards right now. So we had 2 awards this week. Fun ones. First up was the Saturn Awards, which is more for sci-fi and fantasy stuff. Saturn Award winners. So let's read you the list. Okay. Film, Best Science Fiction Film, Dune Part 2. Best Fantasy Film, Beetlejuice. Best Horror Film, Alien Romulus. Best Action Adventure Film, Deadpool Wolverine. Best Thriller Film, Strange Darling. Best International Film, Godzilla -1. Best Animated Film, The Wild Robot. Best Independent Film, Late Night with the Devil. Best Actor in a Film, Nicolas Cage for Dream Scenario. Best Actress in a Film, Demi Moore for The Substance. Best Supporting Actor in a Film, Hugh Jackman for Deadpool and Wolverine. Best Supporting Actress in a Film, Rebecca Ferguson for Dune Part 2. Best Younger Performer in a Film, Jenna Ortega for Beetlejuice. Best Film Direction, Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2. Best Film Writing, Screenplay, Osgood Perkins for Longlegs. Best Film Music, Composer, Danny Elfman for Beetlejuice. Best Film Editing, Dean Zimmerman and Shane Reed for Deadpool Wolverine. Best Film Production Designer, Patrice Vermette for Deadpool Wolverine. Best Film Makeup, The Substance, Pierre-Olivier Persin. Best Film Costumes, Beetlejuice, Colleen Atwood. Best Visual and Special Effects, Dune Part 2, Paul Lambert, Stephen James, Rice Salcombe, and Gerd Nefzer. For TV, Best Science Fiction Television Series, Fallout. Best Fantasy Television Series, House of the Dragon. So it must have been a tie. House of the Dragon. Best Horror Television Series from... It cuts off, so I don't know. Best Superhero Television Series, Agatha All Along. Best Action Thriller TV Series, Cobra Kai. Best Adventure Television Series, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Best Animated Series, Star Wars, The Bad Batch. Best Television Presentation, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Best Actor in a Television Series, Colin Farrell for The Penguin. Best Actress in a Television Series, Rosario Dawson for Star Wars, Ahsoka. Best Supporting Actor in a Television Series, Anthony Starr for The Boys. Best Supporting Actress in a Television Series, Kristen Milotti for The Penguin. Best Younger Performer in a Television Series. Zolo Maraduena for Cobra Kai. Best Guest Star in Television Series, Mark Hamill, The Fall of the House of Usher. Home Entertainment, Best Classic Home Media Release, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Best Television Home Media Release, Star Wars Andor, the complete first season. Best Film Home Media Collection, Batman 85th Anniversary Collection. Best 4K Home Media Release, Saw X. Special Awards, Lifetime Achievement Award, William Shatner. Lance Reddick Legacy Award, Lawrence Fishburne. George Powell Memorial Award, the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. Spotlight Award, Fallout. Robert Forrester Artist Award for Hiroyuki Sanada. And Dan Curtis Legacy Award for Superman and Lois. So those are your Saturn Award winners. And next up is the Critics' Choice Awards. All right. All right, come on. There's the list. This Critics' Choice Awards. Best film was Anora. Best Actor Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Best Actress Demi Moore, The Substance. That's 3 straight. She's won now, so that's a big deal. Best Supporting Actor Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain. That's 3 straight. He's won. Well, 2 straight anyway, I should say. Best Supporting Actress Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. That's 2 straight for her as well. Best Young Actor or Actress Maisie Stella from My Old Ass. Best Acting Ensemble, Conclave. Best Director, John M. Chu for Wicked. Best Original Screenplay, Coralie Fargiet for The Substance. Best Adapted Screenplay, Peter Strahan, Conclave. That actually could be your winners for the Academy Awards, too. Best Cinematography, Jaron Blaschke for Nosferatu. Best Production Design, Nathan Crowley and Lee Sandales for Wicked. Best Editing, Marco Costa for Challengers. Best Costume Design, Paul Tazewell for Wicked. Best Hair and Makeup, Stephanie Guillen, Frederique Arguella, and Pierre-Olivier Persin for The Substance. Best Visual Effects, Paul Lambert, Stephen James, Rice Salcombe, and Gerd Nefzer for Dune Part 2. Man, I said both those names quickly. Best Animated Feature, The Wild Robot. Best Comedy, A Real Pain. It's tied with Deadpool and Wolverine. Best Foreign Language Film, Amelia Perez. Best Song, El Mal from Amelia Perez. Best Score, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross for Challengers. Best Drama Series from Television, Shogun. Best Actor Drama Series, Hiroyuki Sanada for Shogun. Best Actress for Drama Series, Kathy Bates for Matlock. Best Supporting Actor Drama Series, Tadanobu Asano for Shogun. Best Supporting Actress Drama Series, Moeka Hoshi for Shogun. Best Comedy Series, Hacks. Best Actor Comedy Series, Adam Brody, Nobody Wants This. Best Actress Comedy Series, Jean Smart for Hacks. Best Supporting Actor Comedy Series, Michael Urie for Shrinking. Best Supporting Actress Comedy Series, Hannah Einbinder for Hacks. Best Limited Series, Baby Reindeer. Best TV Movie, Rebel Ridge. Best Actor Limited Series or TV Movie, Colin Farrell for The Penguin. Best Actress Limited Series or TV Movie, Kristen Milotti for The Penguin. Best Supporting Actor Limited Series or TV Movie, Liev Schreiber for The Perfect Couple. Best Supporting Actress Limited Series TV Show, TV Movie, Jessica Gunning, Baby Reindeer. Best Foreign Language Series, Squid Game. Best Animated Series, X-Men 97. Best Talk Show, John Mulaney Presents Everybody's in LA. Best Comedy Special, Ali Wong, Single Lady. And that was it. So those are your Chris. So we got some good views about what has been winning a lot lately. So we've got some good views about what could end up winning the Academy Awards. Though there is a bunch of controversy with a couple of the upcoming Academy Award nominees. So we'll see what happens with those. So I got those out of the way. Boom, boom. Let's talk about the Super Bowl real quick, and then we'll talk about some shit we don't want to talk about. The more I delved into Dr. Pepper, it started to taste a little bit more like Dr. Pepper now. Excuse me. Super Bowl. Who gives a fuck? Chiefs and Eagles. Again, neither team I'm excited about. The Eagles fan base is toxic. The Chiefs are a bunch of cheaters, and the refs get away, are their accomplices. That being said, the writing's on the wall, people. Chiefs are going to three-peat because that's what the NFL wants. Taylor Swift will be there. So they want to have the three-peat happen. And maybe then they will end the Chiefs' reign and have the refs not be helping them as much, since next year's Super Bowl diagram looks more like blue and white teams. So we could see Bills and Lions. So we'll see about that. So maybe we'll finally see something different finally. But yeah, Chiefs are going to win this one. Probably be a close one, as they always are. They don't score a lot of points. Eagles are going to be running Saquon Barkley for like 5,000 yards. 28-24 Chiefs. There's my pick. Who gives a fuck? All I care about is I'm going to win some money. As long as I don't win all of it, if I win one, maybe two, I'd be okay with, but I can't win all four, or else everybody's going to yell at me. However, could the Eagles actually win this one? Because Taylor Swift got no Grammys for her Tortured Poets, which everybody thought she was going to clean up at the Grammy. She didn't get a single one. The refs had to come out and say, nope, we're not helping the Chiefs in any way. So that being said, and they've come out and said that we're not helping them, they're going to be under a microscope now. So even if the slightest thing happens, they're going to say, you said you're not helping them, yet here's a blatant flag or a blatant no call or something like that. So if that's the case, the Chiefs are going to be in trouble, because I don't think they can win on their own, because they've been getting stuffed and stopped, and the teams have been converting when they should be, and then flags call all that shit back, so that the Chiefs end up getting another chance or the win or whatever. You give them a second chance, they're going to probably score on you. So that's where the refs come in to help out, to give them a second chance. But they've been stopped multiple times. Winning drives for the opposing team have been called back due to stupid flags that should not have been called. Say what you want. If you take a look at all the video that's been compiled about the Chiefs and all the calls that are game changers, it fills about a 10-minute reel. I know there are teams that do get calls for them and against them. The Ravens had calls that helped them out and ones that fucked them up also. So it's part of the game. But the fact that these ones that the Chiefs do are blatant, non-flaggable things, and they always seem to happen when the Chiefs get stuffed or the opposing team advances. The bad spots that they've been doing, it's way blatant. But because of all this, could the Eagles in turn somehow make it out of there. Harrison Butker and Patrick Mahomes and his wife are all MAGA fuckbags. So with the felon and the felon is going to be there also. And because everybody hates on them right now, is hating on them. The whole world is together and hating on them. Maybe the bad vibes will cause the Chiefs not to win this one. The Eagles could squeak out a win. Honestly, I could give a fuck who wins this game. I don't care. I don't want the Chiefs to win, obviously, because I think that they are cheaters and they get away with way too much stuff. And I don't like the Eagles fan base. And so but that's it. Chiefs win 28-24. That's my pick. We'll see if I'm right. Better write that down so I can come back next week and say, hey, I was right. So, speaking of MAGA fucks. First up, I forgot to tell the story last week when I went off on my rant on the MAGAs last week. ICE was spotted in my neighborhood, not this neighborhood, but like up on Main Street in Reisterstown, accosting a boy who is in my son's scout troop. He was dressed in his ROTC stuff, walking home from school past the Wawa, heading to his job as a volunteer fireman. He's not illegal. His parents aren't illegal. He's just different looking. I think he's Mexican maybe, or stuff like that. So he is, in their eyes, the enemy because he's foreign. He's not white. So they approached him and asked him questions, stuff like that, and they didn't detain him. So whatever answers he gave them, they accepted. But the fact that they accosted somebody I know makes this really, really real. Now, I haven't heard much from ICE lately since his event, because that event happened last week when I should have been on my show last week. But I haven't heard anything since then. Plane stuff continues to go down. A plane carrying 10 people disappeared over Nome, Alaska this weekend, or yesterday or Friday or something like that. People are still searching for them now, see if they can find them. And a Japanese airplane just missed a Delta Airlines plane as they were both taxiing to take off. So again, this plane bullshit that's going on is not helping any. More MAGA bullshit coming up later on the show. Something that just happened recently, a 7.5 earthquake hit the Caribbean, of all places. I've never heard of an earthquake happening in the Caribbean. Set up a bunch of tsunami warnings, but everything seems to be doing okay. It was in the middle of the ocean, or of the Caribbean ocean, I guess, Caribbean Sea, whatever, Caribbean Sea, that it did not affect anybody. Nobody was injured or hurt or anything like that. So that's a good thing. But the fact that we've been having a lot of activity lately, not just here, but in the Pacific and Greece, stuff like that, is kind of interesting. We did have one other award ceremony, tying into the Super Bowl, the NFL Honors Awards. And that came with its own controversies as well. Lamar Jackson, who was a shoo-in to win MVP, did not. He had the better season than the winner. And they still didn't vote for him because they thought, I guess the majority of people thought it was Lamar fatigue since he won last year. Lamar won All-Pro, and when there's only one quarterback for the AFC who goes All-Pro, and it was Lamar. And usually when that happens, the same voters vote for MVP. It should have been Lamar also. Every year for the last 16 years, that has been the issue. This year they split the vote, and Josh Allen won MVP, his first MVP. Josh is fine. He's a good quarterback. He reeled himself in a hell of a woman in Haley Steinfeld. For the first time, we got to see them together. She was absolutely stunningly gorgeous and stunningly proud of her fiance, and very happy for them. They're a very cute couple there. Unlike Taylor and Travis, they're quiet, which is fine. You never see much pictures with them. They like to keep things quiet and private, which is great. It's awesome. I think it's wonderful. And look, what Taylor and Travis are doing is fine also. It's different personality, stuff like that. I wasn't trying to make a judgmental calls. I just thought it was interesting that I had never seen really a picture of Haley with Josh, with the exception of the faraway shadow shot when she was proposed to last December. So good to see that. So he won MVP. The Walter Payton Award went to Eric Armstead, the Jaguars, I think. Coach of the Year is Kevin O'Connell with the Minnesota Vikings, taking Sam Darnold, of all people, and letting them get to the playoffs with a 14-3 record. Patrick Surtain, too, was Defensive Player of the Year. Saquon Barkley was Offensive Player of the Year. Jared Verse was Defensive Rookie of the Year. Joe Burrow was Comeback Player of the Year. Jane Daniels, quarterback for the Washington Commanders, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Josh Allen won the Art Rooney Award. The Jane Daniels Hail Mary was the NFL Player of the Year. George Kittle won Salute to Service. Ben Johnson won Assistant Coach of the Year. Jane Daniels won Rookie of the Year. Josh Allen, Air Player of the Year. Jamar Chase, Ground Player of the Year. And Trey Hendrickson, Deacon Jones Award. So, and let's do who the Hall of Fame is. And then another weird thing is the Hall of Fame nominees were announced this week as well. And there's only 4 of them. And that's weird because they tend to have at least 7 or 8 in there. But they don't. They have only 4. Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp won for his senior thing. Sterling Sharp absolutely deserves to be there. When his brother Shannon won, or not won, but got into the Hall of Fame, he had one of the greatest Hall of Fame speeches where he was basically saying, I should not have gotten in first. My brother should have gotten in first. But Sterling Sharp's career ended very, very early due to injury. But leading up to that point, he was on his way to being one of the absolute monsters of the NFL, would have held probably tons of records for everything he did. But this injury knocked him out early, and he absolutely deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. He did not win in his initial, whatever it is, 10 years that you get to get in by itself. So he got put in as a senior, which is awesome. So good on that. Antonio Gates is a pretty good wide receiver. And Jared Allen, I've heard of him. And Eric Allen, I really haven't heard much about him. So, but the fact they only had 4 is really weird. They tend to have more than that, like at least 6 that I remember last time. And that also affected the Ravens also because Terrell Suggs and Marshall Yanda were both up for first ballot. Neither of them got in, which is a shame because Terrell Suggs absolutely deserved to be first ballot. Eli Manning also did not get in. He also was up for his first time this year, but he did not get in either. So I think it should have been the 4 we got, and then I think it would have been nice to see Terrell, Suggs, and Eli get in as well for the 6. But whatever, we're not in charge of that, so whatever. The whole Lamar thing, not winning MVP for the 3rd time, yeah, it's kind of frustrating, but to be honest, Lamar was not even there, and he doesn't care about MVP. He wants to win the Lombardi Trophy. He wants to win Super Bowls. That's his dream, and it must be frustrating the shit out of him that he's not been able to do it in these first 7 years of his career. To put things in perspective, though, Peyton Manning did not get into his first one until he was in 9 years. And he was putting up similar numbers to what Lamar was doing. And he was always getting stifled in the playoffs and stuff like that, mostly by Brady and all that. So we'll see what happens. Another good thing that happened this week is Derrick Henry said that he wants to retire as a Raven. So he's going to we got him for 1 more year. They'll probably sign him to another 2 to 3 year deal after that. And then see how he is with his how he is, how he feels like it. They continue to do that till he's ready to retire. But I think that's awesome also. On a personal note, this is episode 592 of Dylan Knows. I'm 8 episodes away from episode 600. 92 weeks ago, when I did my 500th episode, I did a Road to 500 where I did my top 500 movies of all time. Can't do that again because it's only been 92 weeks since I did it last. So to celebrate my 600th episode coming up in 8 weeks, which puts it, let's see. Let's see, it was the 1st. And then today is the 8th. So the 8th. So from then on, it's going to be the 15th and 22nd, then March 1st, March 8th, March 15th, March 22nd, March 29th. So beginning of April is when I'll have my 600th episode. So I have a little while to do this, but my plan is to do 6 100 movie lists, specific genre, like top 100 animated films, top 100 science fiction films, top 100 romantic comedy films, top 100 underrated films, top 100 action films, something like that. I haven't decided. And I've started writing my animated one. And my initial list is only at like 59. So I got a lot more to do. So I'll have to start looking at things and deciding if I want to do that or do a bunch of 50s, like 50, my top 50 animated films, top 50 romantic comedies, and then do something like the top 100 underrated films, top 100. Actually, I just have to do some research and we'll see how it plays out. My plan right now is to do 6 100 100 movie lists of specific genres, like what the AFI used to do in the old days. So we'll see how that works out. So keep an eye out for that stuff. As I said, 600th episode won't be until the beginning of April. So I still got a little ways to go. And that also is if I keep doing it weekly, if there's something pops up where I can't do it 1 week or whatever, and I decide not to double up. Usually I double it up when I skip a week. So we'll see what happens with that. It is now officially Stupor Bowl Sunday. It is after midnight. It's February 9th, Sunday. It is Stupor Bowl Sunday. We're looking at 18 hours, 18 and a half hours till kickoff. So, yippee. Owen Wilson and Alan Ritchson are set to star in Runner, an action drama. Tommy Boy is going to hit 4K on March 25th. So Tommy Boy fans like that will love that. Cinnamon Toast Crunch Hershey Kisses are the next big thing. The Colorado Buffaloes have Deion Sanders as their head coach. They've signed Warren Sapp as their defensive line coach, and they just signed Marshall Faulk as their running backs coach. So they got 3 Hall of Famers coaching their young college kids. We got our first look at the Smurfs trailer coming out July 18th. I haven't watched the Smurfs since the 1980s when they first came out. I loved them then, but these new iterations, not a big fan of. They've been big sellers, though, when they've had them. The Smurf movies that come out have made some big money. So Rihanna's coming back to reprise her role as Smurfette. So we'll see what happens. Avatar, the James Cameron Avatar skins, new Jujutsu Kaisen skins, and new Iron Man skins will be coming to Fortnite very, very soon. Constance Zimmer is set to join the cast of Lincoln Lawyer Season 4. Edie Falco, Lenny James, and Lauren Denovich are set to join Mayor of Kingstown season 4. Bill Skarsgård, Noah Jupe, and Murray Bartlett are set to join Hugh Jackman in his Death of Robin Hood movie. Riorida Malika is said to join Vision Quest, the Vision Disney Plus series. Going to start filming very soon here. The Bay with Francesca Eastwood, a shark thriller, has finished filming. Zac Efron is set to team up with Will Ferrell in a new Amazon MGM film that is a courtroom comedy. We haven't had a good courtroom comedy in a while, so why not? Jacob Elordi and Daisy Edgar Jones are set to star on, not set to star, they did star in a movie called On Swift Horses, which played at South by Southwest, or is going to play at South by Southwest. So company picked up and we'll get a theatrical release on April 25th. Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, the second season of the Percy Jackson Disney Plus show, has finished production. We may still see that later this year. A live-action Gundam movie is supposedly in the works, so another sort of anime sort of thing going on there. We got our first look at The Studio, new Apple TV show, which is going to star Seth Rogen and Katherine Hahn, but they are going to be promoting a film called The Apocalypse, and we got to see in this commercial the fake trailer for it that stars Johnny Knoxville and Josh Hutcherson about zombies that shoot out killer diarrhea. And that's going to be the studio is going to be trying to sell that, and that's going to be what the movie show is going to be about. So, but a good hell of a cast there, so that's pretty good. Apple TV tends to get these good ones. I might end up taking advantage of the Apple TV offer I got when I got my new iPhone, because the Gorge opens on Friday, but only on Apple TV. And I've loved the trailer for it. It looks so good. Anya Taylor-Davis and Miles Teller, directed by Scott Derrickson, and a great premise about two snipers, one from Russia, one from the United States, who are on opposite sides of this giant gorge, who cannot communicate but have to defend this gorge for a year from creatures from hell coming out. And then, of course, they break the rules because they're attractive people and they're lonely. And then when Miles Teller decides he wants to go over and see her, something happens and he falls into the gorge and she goes in to save him. So they have to survive in the gorge and get out. So it looks really, really good. I'm really excited for it. So I'm got to contemplate if I'm going to do that. So we may or may not do that. Madeline Klein has joined Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz in the movie Day Drinkers. So that's going to come soon here. Julia Roberts is set to star in Kill Your Darlings, a new twist on murder mysteries. Wu-Tang Clan's new full-length album is coming April 12th after a 10-year hiatus, and it's coming out on Record Store Day, which is fantastic. So congratulations to that. Billy Corgan, Tom Manello, and Danny Carey are forming a super group to back Black Sabbath on their final show. So getting members of Smashing Pumpkins, Tool, and Rage Against the Machine together is going to be absolutely insane. So we all know about the Masters in golf. Well, how about a Masters in mini golf? So there is a Masters of mini golf in South Carolina. I did not know that. And that's kind of cool, actually, to think about it. So that'd be kind of neat to have, if you have a mini golf sort of style tournament like they have in golf, that'd be kind of cool. So awesome. Keeping with the sports, the Steelers are set to play in Croquet Park in Dublin, Ireland next season. Which sucks. I would have loved to have the Ravens over there. And they're not going to play them because in these international games, I don't think they tend to like to play divisional games over there because they are so important. So the Steelers will be playing someone on their secondary secondary schedule. They are the home teams, though, so Pittsburgh does lose a home game, which is like, yes, all right. So that's cool. More shit from the felon in charge. He is going to claims he fired everybody. Part of the Kennedy Center is going to take it over and name himself chairman of the Kennedy Center, and then change the name to the Trump Center. And then he's going to judge what art should be shown at the Kennedy Center. And he's got his all britches up in a thing because there was a drag show on there before, which is a bunch of bullshit that they're freaking out about that. So get ready for Kid Rock at the Trump Center, or, Scott Baio doing Hamlet, or all that bunch of bullshit crap that he's going to think is art. There's a bunch of bullshit. What we should do is all the artists, musicians, theater people, comedians, composers, whoever plays at the Kennedy Center, what they should do is they should take over a plot of Washington, D.C. land and not federal land, and create a massive 2-day festival. It's 24-hour festival of just constant plays and music and stuff like that, and speakers and all the stuff that is pro everything that the fascists hate. And there's nothing they can do about it because it's not on federal land. I think that would be great, and I wish somebody would start doing that. So that pissed me off. And the fact that he's going to call it the Trump Center is also making me want to vomit. The felon is also allowing white South African immigrants to come into the country, but is still deporting legal brown and black ones as well. So he can go suck my balls because fucking President Musk bitchhead is ordering him to do that, which never came up during his speech because, he's taking his orders from President Musk, little shithead. And they're also having the Pentagon is kicking out media people, which is funny because the media is the one, the felon keeps claiming that the media is against him, but the media is always with him. They never report any of the bad stuff he does. They never question him on anything. They normalize all the crazy shit that he says. And this is their comeuppance that they are getting kicked out of the Pentagon. And who is getting put in are QAnon and Newsmax and Fox News and all this bullshit who's going to be their stuff. So my head is just pounding. It's going to explode. Don't even get started on the other shit that's been going on. It's been 19 days since he's been in office, and I'm already fucking feeling it already. And I just wish someone would just take everybody out and we can start over fresh again. Our first set of anniversaries and deaths. First set of deaths, we have Tony Roberts, who is a Woody Allen go-to actor, who was in Annie Hall and many other ones, was also a Tony Award-winning actor, died at the age of 85. And Dick Jaron, a former Bills and Bears head coach, died at the age of 74. I have heard of Dick Jaron. I have heard of Dick Jaron, so I know who he is. Anniversaries, Taxi Driver is 49 years old this week. And Heart Condition is 35 years ago this week, which is an interesting film, which I had kind of forgotten about, but I saw it once. It stars Bob Hoskins and Denzel Washington and Chloe Webb. Bob Hoskins plays a racist asshole who goes up against Denzel Washington. He's a lawyer or something like that, and they get into it a little bit. And then Denzel dies. I think he gets murdered, I think. And Bob Hoskins needs a new heart or something. So I think they use Denzel Washington's heart as a transplant and put it into Bob Hoskins. And he starts seeing the ghost of Denzel Washington's character who's going to help him try to solve his murder. And Chloe Webb was Danny DeVito's love interest in Twins, was also in Practical Magic as well. I remember watching that movie a couple times. I actually enjoyed it, and I've forgotten completely about it, and I think I need to add it to my list of daily movies I do, because I don't think I've done that one yet. So 35 years ago this week, Heart Condition. Oh, I got a good story. That'll be the last one I do on this page. I don't think I have any more MAGA bullshit, so you're free to go away from that. Kiefer Sutherland and Rebel Wilson are set to star in Tinseltown. They didn't tell much to me about what the storyline is, but they are set to star in it. This is awesome. Bob Gale, co-writer of Back to the Future, the Back to the Future movies, says, fuck you to the Back to the Future 4 talk. He said, there's no fucking way, and he's literally said the F word over and over again, no fucking way we're doing a Back to the Future 4, so you can go fuck off. Which I think is awesome, because there is no need to do a Back to the Future 4. And there is no need to do a remake, because it wouldn't make much sense, because if you did a remake from now, 30 years ago is 1995. And let's be honest, it's not as big of a culture shock as 85 to 55 was. Oh my God, I don't have the internet. Oh, we have a Democrat in office who gave us a surplus. That's awesome. John Travolta, Mandy Patinkin. I can't read that last name. John Travolta, Mandy Patinkin, and there's one other guy, I can't read their name, are set to star in Robert Joffe's JFK film, November 1963, which is going to be competing with Barry Levinson's John F. Kennedy assassination film as well. So may the best person win. I can't read my fucking handwriting, which is unusual, is it? Amy Aquino and Andrew Robinson are set to join Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage. Crater Lake, which I've been to before, it's gorgeous out in Oregon, got 138 inches of snow in a massive snowstorm that hit last week. March 13th, the first lunar eclipse of the year will be seen by everybody, so that'll be good. Josh Hartnett is set to fight bad guys on a plane in the action comedy Fight or Flight. He's having a hell of a comeback as well. Matthew McConaughey is set to head up the movie The Rage, which is based on the 1381 English uprising. So we haven't had a good 1381 film in a really long time. And it's directed by Paul Greengrass, which is another really good director. We haven't heard much from him in a while. Up there with getting close to my 600th episode, Brenda Fries, the coach of the Maryland women's basketball team, had got her 600th win this week. So congratulations to Brenda. Daniel Radcliffe is set to star with Lucas Hedder, to Trust the Man, a Vietnam War thriller. So that'll be interesting to see Daniel Radcliffe in a Vietnam War thriller. Kiernan Shipka and McKenna Grace are set to star in The Nowhere Game, a survivalist thriller, which is the word of the week, because there's at least 2 other survivalist thriller movies coming up. Ben Affleck is set to star in and direct a film called Animals for Netflix. And he will be starring with Gillian Anderson from X-Files. Robert De Niro is set to star in the crime thriller The Whisper Man for Netflix as well. The Ash trailer, a sci-fi horror film with Elijah Gonzalez and Aaron Paul, popped up. Rooney Mara and Katie Mara, their sisters, are set to star in Bucking Fastard, written and directed by Werner Herzog. So that's going to be interesting to see the sisters in a movie directed by Werner Herzog. Mikey Madison of Honora is set to star in the new Sergeant Rock film coming out here soon. Deep Water, Rennie Harlin's shark thriller, is set to get a theatrical release. He also did the shark thriller Deep Blue Sea. So that could be interesting to see what he does with that. Hayden Panettiere has wrapped Sleepwalker, another thriller, which kind of sounds pretty interesting. Operation Taco Gary's, a conspiracy comedy with Simon Rex and Brenda Song, is set to go out into the foreign film market to see if someone will pick it up for foreign distribution. Bad Boy, a horror film with starring Ke Huy Quan and Lily Reinhardt, follows a young woman as she fights to escape from a serial killer. But what's different is that the perspective of the movie is from the serial killer's dog. So that should be interesting to see how that actually works out. It's called Bad Boy. And the fact that Ke Huy Quan and Lily Reinhardt are involved with that is really interesting. Sounds like something that they wouldn't touch in a second, but we'll see. In the Cry a Little More, and besides, I hate this guy anyway, Rob Liefeld is crying that he is going to be cutting ties with Marvel because they made him feel that, he's not being, what's the word I'm thinking of? He feels that Marvel is not attempting to try to acquiesce to him. It comes down to him not being invited to an after party for the Deadpool movie. And he felt that that was a slap in the face and that Marvel has no interest in him and that Kevin Feige doesn't know what he's doing. Rob Liefeld's been a whiny little bitch forever, so I'm not putting 2 cents into this at all. Maybe he was ignored, but you're a horrible writer. You're a horrible artist. You're a horrible person. And you think you're a lot bigger than you actually are. I really don't like you all that much. You've done 1 or 2 really funny things, and I used to like you when you did Hawk and Dove. I thought it was outstanding. What the artwork, something I'd never seen before. Carl Kesel inked you. It looked gorgeous. And then you just went ahead and did New Mutants. You got yourself a head full of, hey, I'm the greatest that ever lived. And then you created Cable and Deadpool and all those famous people. And you may have created Deadpool, but there's a lot more than just creating it that goes into his character. Other writers, such as Gail Simone, added their own touches to it to give Deadpool the character that he is now. So it wasn't just your dumbass. You created the concept, but you did not build the character. Your Youngblood comic was terrible, and you're just a shitty human being in general. So go cry some more. I'm sorry you feel like Marvel doesn't like you, but whatever. Fuck off, Rob Liefeld. I wish I could save this for the last story of the day, but I can't because I still got a page and a half to go. But I will wait to do it after do death and anniversaries. Anniversaries this week is Blazing Saddles, 51 years. Dante's Peak, 28 years. Dante's Peak was the first DVD I ever bought. I went and saw Dante's Peak in the movie theater. So I remember that 28 years ago. The Night Flyer, another fantastic movie I absolutely love, with Miguel Ferrer, one of my favorite actors, based on a Stephen King novella. Debuted 27 years ago this week. Deaths this week, we have Howard Twilley, member of the 1972 undefeated Dolphins team. He passed away at 81. Virginia McCaskey, the majority owner of the Chicago Bears, passed away at the age of 102 this week. And Irv Gotti, founder of Murder Inc., dies at 54. Actually, I want to remind myself. Incorporated Springsteen. So, what's the big story for this page before I get to my page and a half I have left? I got to get a drink to go through this one. Bear with me a second. Real quick, it's really strong Blackberry to begin with, but as you are progressing down it, the Dr Pepper starts coming out a little bit more. It tastes fine. It's good. I don't know if I'll personally buy a 12-pack for it, so we'll see. Okay, here we go. You ready? Spanish porn star Nacho Vidal, who advertises his aromatic candles shaped like male genitalia on Twitter, was arrested for manslaughter following a man's death during a mystic ritual in which he inhaled psychedelic toad venom. Spanish porn star Nacho Vidal, aromatic candles shaped like dicks, charged with manslaughter after a dude dies after they do a mystic thing where the dude inhaled poison, psychedelic toad venom. Best fucking story of the week. And it was an hour, 11 minutes in. So we got a page and a half now left. Oh, I do have another MAGA thing. That's right. Keebler Harry Potter Butterbeer Fudge Stripe cookies should be out soon. They look pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Kumail Nanjiani was cast in Fallout Season 2. Olivia Colman, Woody Harrelson, Tosin Cole, and Chloe Bailey are set to start an adaptation of the Broadway musical Girl from North Country. John Malkovich, Mark Ruffalo joined Sam Rockwell in Wild Horse Now. The Los Angeles Rams are going to be playing their first NFL game in Melbourne, Australia next year as well. So you got Dublin and Melbourne next year. So that's interesting. Ethan Hawke is set to adapt and possibly direct and star in a remake of the old Howard Hawks Western, The Gunfighter. Charlize Theron, Eric Bana, and Taron Egerton star in Apex, another survivalist thriller, which is the word of the day. DeWanda Wise has been cast in Killer Bee, a graphic novel adaptation coming soon. Full Moon is set to release their classic film Trancers as a black and white noir version. Mark Strong is set to star as Armitage in Apple TV's Neuromancer adaptation, currently filming now. Ethan Embry, you might remember him from Can't Hardly Wait. He was also the TB player, the bass player, and That Thing You Do. He was also the good son who committed suicide and disturbing behavior. He was also in the fourth vacation film, Vegas Vacation. He was Rusty. Is set to join the cast of Scream 7, which is already stacked. And now we get Ethan Embry as well. So that's outstanding. The Night Agent is set to be renewed for a third season. Molly Gordon is set to direct, write, and star in the high school Glory Days comedy film for A24, Peaked. Addison Rowe and Suzanne Sun set to star in Monsters Season 3, about John Wayne Gacy, I believe. The Fire Aid benefit raised $100 million for California, which is outstanding. Harry Potter Butterbeer Goldfish are also set to debut here soon as well. Capri Sun is also set to debut 12-ounce bottles of their popular drink. Hurry Up Tomorrow trailer with Jenna Ortega, The Weeknd, and Barry Cohegan is a bizarre, surreal film that could potentially be about like ghosts or the afterlife or what's the area while you're in the waiting room for heaven, purgatory, could be something like that. It's a weird, bizarre little film, and we'll see how that plays. Plankton, the movie, a spinoff of the SpongeBob SquarePants, got their first trailer out. The Rule of Jenny Penn, a horror film with John Lithgow and Jeffrey Rush, also got a trailer out this week. One Piece Season 2 has finished filming, so they get a little bit of a breather before they come back to possibly do a Season 3. Long Kiss Goodnight, Gina Davis, Samuel L. Jackson, directed by Rennie Harlan, set to get a 4K release here soon. That's another good story. The trailer for the final episodes of Cobra Kai came out this week, where it all goes back to where we began. They're going to compete at the karate contest where where Danny and not Danny, where the two main Johnny and Ralph Macchio's character had their final battle. Cobra Kai is going to have their final stand there as well. Final Destination Blood Ties trailer didn't really entice me that much. The Shitheads, David Franco, O'Shea Jackson, Peter Dinklage, set to star in an unhinged drug family road trip comedy. Sounds boring as shit. Not up my thing. Not my way. More MAGA bullshit, but this is good stuff. So, beginning of February, they were supposed to do the tariffs, which was going to make everything insanely expensive in our area and put us in a trade war with two of our biggest allies on our continent, Mexico and Canada. But after the outcry, the felon in charge spoke to both the Mexican president and the Canadian prime minister, and they all agreed to hold off on the tariffs for 30 days. And in return, both Canada and Mexico would bring 100,000 soldiers to the border to defend it. So what you're thinking? It's like, he gets a win. He did something smart, actually, and was able to bend Canada and Mexico to his will. Please, bitch. These 100,000 soldiers that were set to hit the border from Canada and Mexico was worked on and set up in December when Joe Biden was still president. Joe Biden set that in motion, and they weren't going to do it till beginning of February anyway. And the felon in charge believes that he outplayed the Canadian prime minister and the Mexican president when, in fact, they outplayed his stupid ass. So congratulations to them. You're doing the stuff that no one here has the balls to do. So good on you guys. That being said, a Canadian man's dick was frozen to the ground after he stumbled out of a bar. I got nothing more for that. Deaths this week. Clotilda Woods, Tiger Woods' mom, passed away this week. And Mort Kunstler, American painter, child prodigy, did covers for pulp books, stuff like that, like Doc Savage, died at the age of 97. Anniversary, Scream 3 debuted 25 years ago this week. Saw that in the movie theater also. Ace Ventura debuted 31 years ago this week. That one I'm a little off on. I thought Ace Ventura debuted in January because I remember when I went up to campus when I was at school, someone wanted to go see Ace Ventura, and I could have sworn he was asking about it during January mini-mester, but instead I guess it was February. Oh well, but that came out 31 years ago this week. Scared away one person who was watching with my cough. All right, down to the final stretch here. I don't think I have any good final story here. So, nope, I don't. The Duffer Brothers, the creators of Stranger Things, say they have 2 new projects that'll be ready on Netflix, I think, in 2026. Something Very Bad is going to happen is the name of one of them, and the other one is called The Burrows, and they say The Burrows is Stranger Things, but in a retirement village or retirement home, so we'll see how that works out. set to debut in 2026. Felicia Day has worked on this for about 10 years, but she has finally finished her Guild the Musical, a live-action musical based on her web show. She reached out to her original cast members who did not want to be a part of it to singing live. So she went out and cast a bunch of other people, and she's playing her same role. So a lot of people were kind of put off by that because they thought that they would only see it if the original cast was involved. But she did reach out to the original cast, and they're the ones that said, "Nah, we're good. We'll watch it, but we're not going to be performing in it." We get our Megan 2 trailer. That's going to probably be, looks like it's going to be a big hit. The first one was a surprise hit as well. Sleeping Dogs, I guess, is based on a video game. Is set to go in front of the cameras with Simu Liu from Shang-Chi as the lead actor in that. Dan Stevens is set to return to the Godzilla world in Godzilla Kong 3. Behind the scenes pick of Elizabeth Olsen, Alicia Vikander, and Himesh Patel in The Assessment. So we'll start to see that soon. David Lynch passed away of cardiac arrest due to his COPD. That was really nothing unexpected about that. And before I do my final story of the week, deaths this week: Barbie Hsu, a Taiwanese actress from a show called Meteor Garden, died at the age of 48 with pneumonia. Lee Ju-sil, Squid Game actress, died at the age of 81. Faye Vincent, former Major League Baseball commissioner, died at the age of 86. And this one hit a little hard. Former Baltimore Orioles second baseman Rich Dower passed away this week. I played second base when I was doing rec league baseball, and my dad was the coach. He wanted me to play second base, and at the time, the Baltimore Orioles second baseman was Rich Dower. So I emulated him. I idolized him. I watched him all the time. That was what really interested me when I was watching baseball games. I always watch Rich Dower because he was a second baseman just like me. And this one hurts a little bit that he passed away this week. He was bound to die eventually because he was getting older, but it's still kind of surprising when it happened. So rest in peace, Rich Dower. You were one of my idols, and thank you for encouraging me to keep playing second base. Anniversaries. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou debuted 25 years ago this week. The Fog debuted 45 years ago this week. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn debuted 5 years ago this week, right before COVID hit. This movie came out, did okay. But there was already talk that something bad was going to happen anyway, so it didn't do as well as expected. And the Baltimore Ravens, their last Super Bowl they won was 12 years ago this week against San Francisco 49ers in New Orleans, where this year's Super Bowl is taking place. 18 hours to go. We'll be going to a friend's house and having a little mini party. Going to have some good food. One friend is an Eagles fan, so it's going to be probably rough to hear him. But should be fun. We'll stay till halftime. We'll probably watch the halftime show, and then we'll leave after that. They're only about 5 minutes away, maybe 10 minutes away from our house. So that's pretty cool. And it is a school night. So we'll see what happens. All right. The final story this week. Last week, I did my show Saturday into Sunday. Sunday was Groundhog Day. The groundhogs predicted 6 more weeks of winter. So it is what it is. That's it for this week's show. Not as many people viewed it this week, I guess. Not everybody was as amped up as they were last week. So hopefully I'll get some more views on this. But thank you for the people who have been watching. Thank you for the people who watched last week, and hopefully you'll keep watching. I'm not doing this to get the clicks and not to get the viewers, but it's still kind of nice to see that. But I am appreciative of the 2 people who did subscribe to my channel, so thank you so much. for that. Next week is Valentine's Day weekend, and my Valentine is going to be away from me. She's going to be camping with her scout troop. My son will be home with me because he's not going camping. And my daughter may or may not have to do a leadership thing for her job up at summer camp this year. She's still trying to work that out. If not, she's probably going to do a Galentine's Day thing with her friends. So to be fair, though, my mom made a really good point today when I was talking to her. Valentine's Day is more for younger couples, boyfriends and girlfriends who aren't quite married, stuff like that. Married couples, major holiday for them is their anniversary. Their love holiday is their anniversary, wedding anniversary. So that's a big deal. So if you don't go out to dinner on Valentine's Day, it's not a big deal. I'm still going to be buying my wife and my kids presents because they are Valentines, and I like to buy them stuff and cards and stuff like that. Though my wife is getting into this mode again about where we need to budget our money and stuff like that. So we'll see. But I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing. So there we go. So we have Valentine's Day next weekend. I'll be watching. I'm taking Friday off, which is Valentine's Day, and I'll be watching Captain America, Brave New World. So I'll have my review of that. I remember a few years ago, I did take off for Valentine's Day for some other reason. Maybe it was a movie, but I remember going to Chick-fil-A like I was going to do. I go out to breakfast at Chick-fil-A, and it was on Valentine's Day, and I got my chicken egg and cheese biscuit. And what I remember was, it was 2019 when I did that. The chicken was in the shape of a heart. I think I have a picture of it still. I might have deleted it by now. I think it might be in my, my favorites. I know, I don't know if it's in my favorites, but I know I had a picture of the Chick-fil-A sandwich was in the shape of a heart for Valentine's Day. Actually, I don't think I have it in my favorites. I mean, why would you? I mean, it's a Chick-fil-A sandwich. So I'm going to wonder if they're going to have that next time I go up there. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have it here. Either deleted it or I didn't put it in my favorites. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. If I find it, I'll probably post it on my channel, on my Facebook or whatever, Instagram. So it is what it is, but I remember that, so that's kind of interesting. Let's check real quick here. So that's about it right now. I'm just going to keep searching for this right now, and you don't really need to keep watching this right now. So that's what we got planned for next week. We'll see what other crazy shit comes out next week from this fascist government and President Musk and his little bitch, the felon in charge. We'll have Super Bowl. That's right, Super Bowl results. Super Bowl results and pool results. So we'll have that. So I'll do my show. And hopefully if I decide to do the free look at Apple TV, I might also have a review of The Gorge. So see, let me check this real quick. I'm at Christmas. Let me dive through Christmas and check in Valentine's Day. It looks like we're Easter now. I probably deleted it. Oh, well, doesn't matter. I'll keep looking. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. And have a good week. Enjoy the Super Bowl. For those who want to watch it, go ahead. or excited for it. I hope your team wins. So other than that, I got nothing. Time to go.